What do you do when truth becomes unpopular? When culture drifts? When faith feels lonely? You stand. And that's exactly what Elijah did. The Bible introduces him suddenly in Book of 1 Kings 17:1. Now Elijah the Tishbite said to Ahab, "As the Lord, the God of Israel, lives, there shall be neither dew nor rain these years, except by my word." No backstory, no warning, just bold faith. King Ahab ruled Israel, and beside him Jezebel promoted the worship of Baal, the supposed god of rain. Scripture says Ahab did more evil in the eyes of the Lord than any of those before him. So Elijah's declaration wasn't random, it was strategic. James 5:17 reflects, Elijah was a human being, even as we are. He prayed earnestly that it would not rain, and it did not rain for 3.5 years. He prayed, and God moved. In 1 Kings 17, God provides for Elijah. The ravens brought him bread and meat in the morning, and bread and meat in the evening. Then God sends him to a widow in Zarephath who is preparing her last meal. Elijah tells her God's promise, "The jar of flour shall not be spent, and the jug of oil shall not be empty, until the day the Lord sends rain upon the earth." And it happened as God said. Before public victory comes private trust. Elijah challenges the people. How long will you go limping between two different opinions? If the Lord is God, follow him. The prophets of Baal cry out all day. Nothing. Then Elijah rebuilds the altar of the Lord and drenches it with water. He prays, "Answer me, Lord, so these people will know that you, Lord, are God." Then the fire of the Lord fell. The sacrifice, the stones, even the water, consumed.
And the people fall and declare, "The Lord, he is God."
After victory comes threat. Jezebel vows to kill Elijah, and the prophet runs. In 1 Kings 19:4, Elijah prays, "I have had enough, Lord. Take my life." The bold prophet is burned out. But God doesn't rebuke him. God feeds him, lets him rest, and speaks to him. Was Kings 19:11-12. A great and powerful wind tore the mountains apart, but the Lord was not in the wind. After the wind, there was an earthquake, but the Lord was not in the earthquake. After the earthquake came a fire, but the Lord was not in the fire. And after the fire came a gentle whisper. God reminds Elijah in 1 Kings 19:18, "Yet I reserve 7,000 in Israel, whose knees have not bowed to Baal." You are not alone, and neither are we. In Book of 2 Kings 2:11, suddenly a chariot of fire and horses of fire appeared, and Elijah went up to heaven in a whirlwind. He doesn't die, he is taken, a prophetic exit. Centuries later, on a mountain described in Gospel of Matthew 17:3, there appeared before them Moses and Elijah talking with Jesus. Why Elijah? Because he represents the prophets. And Jesus fulfills what the prophets pointed toward. Jesus himself said in Matthew 11:14 that John the Baptist would come in the spirit of Elijah. But where Elijah called down fire, Jesus Christ brings salvation. Where Elijah confronted idolatry, Jesus confronts sin. Where Elijah was taken, Acts 1:9 says Jesus was taken up before their eyes and will return. Elijah's life teaches us, stand for truth, even if you stand alone. Trust God in hidden seasons. Expect spiritual highs and emotional lows. Listen for the whisper. And most of all, see how the Old Testament was always pointing forward to Jesus.